Hey guys, this is the mindset that's going to make anyone more confident. It's really just this. You are a lot less important than you really think you are. You are a lot less important. You and your actions are a lot less important than you think they are. All right? So we have all this pressure on behaving a certain way, doing all these habits, blah blah blah, and I'm not discounting that disciplined habits are successful. I'm not discounting that disciplined habits make you more successful, okay? But I want you to understand that you could have disciplined habits every single day, and then that one thing happens and you become an overnight success. Or you could not have any of those discipline habits and that thing appears and you become an overnight success. What I've realized in a lot of successes in my life and in others' lives, it's partially due to the level of discipline that we've had. For example, the Beatles. The Beatles were rewarded with an overnight success because of all the time they spent playing. So when they came over, they were an overnight success, but honestly, it was literally their branding that made them successful. So there's nothing special about the Beatles, even though they had all that discipline. They just threw some suits on them and dressed them up nice and said, "This is what you're going to look like. We're sending you to America," and that was pretty much an overnight success because of that. But the thing is that opportunity was completely out of their control. They got selected for the opportunity probably because the universe chose them because of their habits. But the opportunity was ripe and it was there. I want to talk about Bill Gates. Bill Gates' opportunity to build Microsoft is largely out of his control. He can say all he wants about, how much he knows about computers, and I am not discounting the fact that he knows a lot about computers, but he was born in the birthplace lottery. He was born at the specific time in a specific place where he had access to a computer that other people in the United States did not have a computer at that age, and he was therefore able to get practice, way more practice than anyone else was able to get by the time he reached a certain age, and then the personal computer came out. So he was almost destined to do that, okay? So he can be confident in the fact that he was disciplined with the computer, but you also have to understand that it almost was destined to happen, okay? So sometimes when you have a scenario where you were successful, let's just say a relationship works out, let's just say that business takes off, let's just say you get hired for that job. You don't see all the behind the scenes things that took place in order for that to succeed. You played a small part in it, but you may have gotten hired just because a person liked you, and if a different person was there, there's plenty of times where it's like, yeah, and this is a made-up scenario, but I think you can get the gist, okay? I applied, and the regular interviewer got stuck in traffic that day, so they had someone else do it, and that person liked me, and I got hired. When maybe if that person wasn't held up in traffic, that person would have not liked you and you didn't get hired. So we see all this events that are out of our control, and we go and say, look, I did it. I am the one who was successful. When really it was not so. Now the Bible talks about if you are diligent with small things, you will be granted bigger things. And I think that's what the Beatles' opportunity and Bill Gates is. I think those things are reflective of he who is faithful with little will be faithful with much. So I think that that law of the universe really takes place for them. But the reality is that it was the universe or God that offered them the opportunity to succeed. And they and you can be confident knowing that you weren't in charge of the opportunity and all the weight wasn't on you. Something was watching you and your habits and who you are as a person. The Bible says, your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you openly. So when you're doing habits behind the scenes, you show up, it's like a done deal. Okay, if you get chosen for an opportunity based on a track record that you had demonstrated, it's a done deal. So there's not a lot of pressure to perform when the opportunity arises because it was already a done deal. Every single day, you showed up and worked really hard. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. You don't have to be confident because a lot of things are not out in your control, but the things that are in your control are what gets you chosen for a greater thing. And when that defining moment comes, it's as if it's past tense. When that opportunity to get that job happens, you already were chosen for that job 3 years ago when you chose to read books every day or something like that. I was chosen to create a YouTube channel because of all the learning and all of the experiences that I did behind the scenes that you've never seen. That's why I can come on here and be confident. And even though I don't have that many viewers right now, guess what? Someone who diligently makes videos repetitively and does the best that they can and feels like they're doing things in alignment with the universe will be rewarded. The Bible says all work turns a profit. So even if this channel doesn't take off, maybe one video 3 years from now, a viewer watches it who has a company or something like that and is like, dang, well, this guy didn't really succeed at YouTube, but I kind of like what he's saying. I want to call this guy in for an interview. And so I want you to be confident in the fact that by doing disciplined habits, the universe will select you at the right time, and you don't have to control that event. All you have to do is control being the best version of yourself, and one day the opportunity will arise. Have a wonderful day, guys.